I'm completing the assignment for Module 1, looking at the production possibility frontier graphs. And so I've chosen two products, toy trains and bicycles, that I'll be producing. I've created two charts, one for 1 hour, how much I can produce, versus 8 hours worth of production. And looking at that, I'll show that for toy trains, I can complete 8 in an hour with an opportunity cost of 0 bicycles produced during that hour, while I can produce 4 bicycles with an opportunity cost of producing 0 toy trains during that hour. Now, if I produce 6 toy trains, I can create 1 bicycle, 4 toy trains, 2 bicycles, and 2 toy trains, I can produce 3 bicycles. Using that information, I then was able to create a chart for 8 hours worth of production, showing that if I create 64 toy trains, I would have 0 bicycles, and 0 toy trains, 32 bicycles. So now I'm going to create two graphs, one for production in an hour, the other one for production in 8 hours. So for production in 1 hour, I would first have for my toy trains, if I created 8, and then for bicycles, if I created 4, this would be my E, and then in between, I would have the 6 to the 1, and then 4 to the 2, and for D, I would have 2 to 3 bicycles. For production in 8 hours, I would have 64, 0, which would be A. I would have 0 to 32 as my E. And then in between, I would have my 48 to about 8. 32 to 16, and then 16 to 24, and that would show my production in 8 hours. Now, if I were to have some sort of change, so I'm going to go ahead and look at two different kinds of changes. One could be a technological advance, and that might affect one particular good. So my technological advance is going to be some sort of advancement on the equipment that increases the amount of rubber tires that can be produced for the bicycles. That would allow for 2 more per hour. So if 2 more get changed, we're going to go ahead and create a new line. And so you'll see the line in blue as the change. For the change in 8 hours, then we're looking at 48 to be our new production in 8 hours, and we'll create a new line showing the change in our graph for our production possibility frontier. Now, if we had a change in resources that maybe affected both goods, such as maybe increased amounts of aluminum that was available that's being used in both the toy trains and the bicycles, that increased the amount that could be produced. We could say that instead that allowed for 10 toy trains to now be produced per hour and 8 bicycles to now be produced per hour. So we would have a new change there. And then for total production, we would now have a change for 8 hours. If we're producing 10 per hour, we would now have 80 toy trains that could be produced and a total of 64 bicycles that could potentially be produced for 8 hours. So I hope that gives you a good idea of the changes that can change to the graph for the production possibility frontier based on change in resources and also change in technological advances. Thanks.